So, gonna get the carburetor for this tomorrow. Hopefully that'll fix this problem, and we can get this back to him. It's a little worried about it. As much work as I had to put into it, that it has a sorry, I got distracted. That it'll run better. I think it will, because like I said, I tried in yesterday's video, I tried to clean this carburetor and it did get better, just not enough. So we'll see. And then the parts of this one is supposed to come in on Monday. And today I was hoping to go and pick up a Cub Cadet, the one I've worked on it before, completely redid the engine. I completely tore apart, you may remember. Because I got parts for it today. It came in at noon. Well, probably more like 1. And Carolyn said, you know, it's raining. Nobody's mowing right now, which is true. And it's going to be raining for a week. So why not pick it up on Monday? And her thinking was, parts will be here early in the morning for this one. And we can drop this one off. And then just down the road from this guy is the Cub Cadet. Since I don't get paid to pick up mowers, it seems reasonable that I should be able to, you know, kind of arrange pickup and deliveries in some sort of organized fashion. So, I mean that would be basically a 10-mile round trip each time I go down there. So, you know, 20 miles, and I didn't get paid for any of it. So if I can just do it all in one trip, seemed like a better thinking. And since it is raining, nobody's cutting grass. The Cub Cadet guy definitely isn't going to be cutting grass, because he's cutting a field. That's why he's got to replace his belt. It's probably hip high. It's tall. I'm a little worried about it, actually. Ran the generator last night longer than I meant to. I accidentally put too much gas in and didn't realize it. I know, how do you do that? I don't know. So I thought I'd come down here. We had some storms the other day, and it wiped out a bunch of trees all along the main road out there. Just everywhere. Wiped out a bunch of trees. So I thought I'd come down in the woods and see if we lost anything, because we didn't get any damage. Not even a tarp off a lawnmower came off. It was very odd how we weren't affected by it hardly at all. Or at all. So I thought I'd come down here and check out the woods. People always ask me what the barrels are for. We were composting chicken compost, chicken manure, and droppings, but we don't have chickens anymore, so the barrels just kind of got left there. They're still composting, probably pure dirt by now. The ground is soft, but this is good for lawnmower repair business. I mean, while it's raining, I won't get any business, but as soon as the rain stops, people will bring their lawnmowers. Now, you would think that people would bring their lawnmowers while it's raining. That way they would have it when it stops raining, but they don't. I mean, I understand that, really, how do you know if your lawnmower's broke if you're not using it? But, you know, you would think that, you know, fix those common issues. You know, it's hard to start, the battery dying, or tires going flat all the time. But, oh well. Yeah, the creek's got water in it. That's the other thing, is the place we're going could be flooded or trees down. So I even posted on Facebook last night, is it flooded? And it is flooded. The bridge is flooded past where I need to be. So, but nobody said anything about trees. So this is usually dry. Do want to be careful. Snakes have been really bad this year, and ticks has been even worse. It's just, oh, we're constantly pulling ticks off. I know somebody will watch out for Lyme disease. Well, you do the best you can. You take showers often, but you know, you get Lyme disease, you get Lyme disease. What are you going to do? Stop living? Which I think a lot of people would think. I'm just going to lock myself in the house. Problem is, you know, they're in the house too. You bring them in, you don't realize it, they're on your pants leg. You kick off your clothes, put them in the basket, and then the ticks start roaming around all over the house. I don't see any damage. guess we can come up here a little ways. I don't, like I said, don't want to get a lot of ticks on me. I don't see anything falling over. We came out of this unscathed, and I'm telling you, 2 miles down the road, I mean, trees are down left and right. So I guess it was, maybe we had a microburst or small tornado down there. I don't know. And we didn't get it here. I know there was one wind gust, and it made the house shake a little. And it was just one. It didn't, maybe lasted a fraction of a second. But other than that, we didn't get anything. So there's the creek. We'll get more rain, I think, tonight. It's just not going to stop. The yard will be flooded by the time it's time to cut grass. So we got some foliage laying over here. I don't know if wind did that or if a deer did that. Oh, I bet it was a deer. I'll tell you why it's a deer here in a minute when we go around. There's berries here. I bet the deer were looking for berries. I don't have a zoom on this camera, but I'm sure you can see the berries, I would imagine. If not, I'll come in on this one. So they might be eating the berries. Carolyn, I mean, we've gotten on this carnivorous diet, so she sneaks a bite of a berry every now and then. She really likes her fruits, but we feel the effects as soon as we eat it. We've gotten so healthy that when we walk down the bread aisle at the grocery store, it stinks. It's just terrible smelling. So I forget what she calls this tree, but you always see her down here looking. We got berries all over the place. The electric company came through last year and sprayed a bunch of them to kill them. I'll show you where they did that at. They're trying to keep the easement open. So they had a couple immigrants come through, and they didn't understand English, but they walked through and just sprayed everything. And I didn't understand why they sprayed where they did. I'll show you when I get up there. But they didn't need to spray everything. So you can see where the easement is. We keep it clear. So we have berries over here. This is outside the easement zone. And they sprayed, whoa, there's a big hole there. That's an ankle breaker. So, oh, I didn't have to go that deep. There's berries here. But they sprayed here. I guess over here, yeah, these were all berries. And they didn't need to spray that. But this was all berries. Every bit of it. All, as far as you can see, up to that building up there, was all berries. And these two guys just walked through here and sprayed. I mean, I understand why they did it. You know, they're trying to keep that power line from getting overgrown. So, like I said, we don't eat them anymore. She'll eat one or two, and then you leave the rest of the birds. There's this dog I told you about, a stray dog. I think we know the backstory to this dog. So, dog's been coming around at night, stealing Carolyn's bacon grease. And Carolyn says, you know, he's stealing my bacon, or she's stealing, or whatever, my bacon grease. But it's not like Carolyn was putting it away either. So, you know, Carolyn was feeding the dog bacon grease. But anyway, he came over one day when I was cutting grass and laid down, and it looked terrible. I mean, it's starving to death. So, went and got some chicken. Got canned chicken. Gave him, I don't know, 2 jars or so. So, she started coming around pretty regularly and was getting closer to us. She won't get close to you unless she can identify a jar or can in your hand. So she was down, I woke up one morning, she was down there by the solar panels, and I went in the camper, got a jar, and I put it on the ground. She walked right up to me. Of course, as I moved, if I started to move, she'd jump back. She didn't want me moving. But as long as I stood still, she would come up to me. Wouldn't let me pet her. She had a big tick on her head. I wanted to get it off, but she wouldn't let me. So I don't know, I gave her 2 or 3 jars that day. Well, if she comes back, you know, I can't tell you how many times she's come back. And you know, as she crosses the driveway there, we get some food for her. So Carolyn bought some canned food, so we didn't want using all our chicken. And she was mixing it up with rice, and she was coming by and eating it, and at nighttime she'd come by and eat it. Well, we hadn't seen her for the longest time, and we were pretty convinced that she was dead. So we kind of gave up on it. Well, this morning she comes by again, and Carolyn put a pan out there on the bridge, you know, the porch, the bridge over here, and she walked right up on the bridge. Carolyn fed her that canned food, and she ate it right off the fork. So she's tame enough to take the food, but she's not tame enough to get petted. And if you stand up, she walks away or kind of backs away, and then she'll bark at you, I guess trying to tell you to get more food, because she had finished that. So she ended up eating 2 or 3, well, 2.5 to 3 cans. I guess it was 3 cans, I don't know, to be honest. But it was definitely more than 2, because I opened the 3rd one. So, of course, and then she leaves. And so I guess we've kind of figured out where they're from. There's 2 dogs. One is healthier, or has more food, has eaten more food than this one. We don't want a pet. We can't, and I know, I said this last time, we can't have a pet in the house. It just isn't going to work. We just can't do it. I mean, if she gets tame enough where she's here, you know, we'll start putting out flyers and stuff to see if somebody will take her and that kind of stuff. But we just can't have a dog. We don't have the room, and we got Skitty. And I know, well, Skitty's just gonna have to learn to deal with it. No, Skitty isn't gonna have to learn to deal with it. We will find a home for the dog, but we're not, I don't want the dog to suffer. I would rather shoot it or something, or feed it. So we've decided we're going to feed it. But she only comes around every now and then. I kind of figured, I think we know what's going on. There was a guy who died recently, and his house became a lab. Well, they finally got that broken up, and the police came down and finally got that all broken up. And so there's another guy who is supposed to be getting rid of all the stuff on that property. And he called me and asked me if I wanted to come and get a lawnmower. And I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. I was like, nah, unless the family says I can have it, I don't think so. Well, the family never said I could have it, so I'm pretty satisfied with it, especially with there being a lab there and all that. I didn't want to get involved with that. Well, apparently, that guy who wanted to give me the lawnmower of the old man that was dead wants to give me, or is supposed to be taking care of those dogs. This is the theory. We don't know this for sure. So, you know, he's probably throwing out a bag of food once a week or something, and the 2 dogs share the food. Of course, the other dog might be a little bit more aggressive. Of course, now there's 2 other dogs running around that I don't think has anything to do with them, so they're probably coming down and eating it. And we know those other dogs will chase her off. And of course, you got raccoons and possums. They're eating the food. So she's just not getting a lot. So my guess is she's sticking around that bag food until it's gone. And then she'll come searching for more food, but she is not getting enough to eat. I mean, like I said, she ate 3 cans. I know you're not supposed to feed them that much, but I mean, she's asking for it. You can tell she is asking for more food. So, you know, we'll just feed her, and if she gets friendly enough that she wants to stay, you know, like I said, we'll feed her, we'll get her healthy, get her all cleaned up, make sure she's got all her shots and everything, and then we'll find her a home, a family that's looking for a dog that can handle it. And, you know, we'll be selective. And I know somebody says, "Good, call the dog catcher." There's no dog catchers in this area. There's no police. So, but it's kind of funny. If you give her a bowl of food and she can't finish it, she's too full, she picks up the bowl and takes it with her. Well, today Carolyn laid an empty can, you know, of food, an empty can of food, on the porch. The dog walked right up to the can, picked the can up, and took it off. It's kind of a cute dog. So I think Carolyn's really happy that it's still alive. We were pretty sure it was dead because it had been gone for so long. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video on my other channel. So if I can inspire you to take a walk in the woods, sing live your dreams. Thanks for watching.